Hello, friends. I want to talk to you today about Interact. Now, if you haven't heard about Interact, it is basically a quiz software that anybody can use in whatever their business is in order to attract good quality, qualified leads. Let's dive into it. What's up, everybody? This is Scott Weidenkivowitz, a storyteller with a camera, and today we are talking about quizzes for your marketing, your online marketing, for lead generation, for creating engagement. There's so many ways that you could utilize quizzes, both on your website or through something like a ManyChat with Instagram DMs and things like that. So we're going to dive into this right now. Let's say you are a wedding photography business and you are trying to find ways to get your leads to be more qualified, to go through this process of determining, are they ready to book with you? Are they ready for the type of wedding photography that you offer? Let's say you're a very colorful, very dynamic, expressive wedding photographer. You get right in there in the wedding versus somebody who's maybe more like me, where I'd rather be further back. This is a way that you could go about that. Now, Interact is a paid tool. It's a paid software where you can create as many quizzes as you need for different things, and it connects with a variety of software. Now, I use Flowdesk for my email marketing, and Interact directly integrates with Flowdesk, and I'm going to show you how that works as well. I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited to utilize this for both podcasting, for my photography, and for so much more. Let's dive into Interact so you can have a look at what you're getting. So you can see here the quizzes area. This is where I have the 3 quizzes I've already put together. These are ones that I've been experimenting with, but we're going to start with one that is fresh so you can see exactly what you get. And then I'm going to show you what the analytics look like afterwards, okay? Now I'm going to go to create a new quiz. And those are a lot of really cool things. First of all, you could go ahead and say, I am a photographer, and it's going to narrow down by the pre-made quizzes already for made for photographers. So you can see here, what is your boudoir style, right? So if you are a boudoir photographer, here's a good way to connect with your potential clients. There's not too many that are made for photography, but there's a bunch. But the beautiful thing is, create with AI. Now you can go from scratch. You can go from these templates. You can preview them as well. So I can click and preview, or we can start with AI. So I'm going to start with that. Now, when you go through the AI quiz, the AI survey setup process, whatever you want to call it, it asks you immediately, do you have an idea in mind for your quiz? Now, I have a quiz idea, but not a specific title. I don't have a quiz idea. I like to see what the AI recommends for me. That's what I'm going to do. What is the URL for your website? I'm going to go ahead and just put in my website. You would do this because this is where it might pull some text, some information from your website. Now, I am not a wedding photographer, but I'm going to be demonstrating this as a wedding photographer would. Now, what does your business do? Wedding photography in New Jersey. And I'm going to hit next. What is the most common problem that you can solve? Find the perfect wedding photographer in New Jersey, or photographer at New Jersey wedding venues. Next. Now it's going to give me the ideas for quizzes based on that little bit that it asked me about my business. So, which stunning wedding photography style is right for you? That is exactly what I wanted. If you recall, I just said that. Are you prepared to capture every moment? Take the wedding venue readiness quiz. Discover the wedding photography chemistry. What wedding venue challenges are you facing? So many different things that it's giving me. You can always go back and try again. I'm going with this one. Which style is right for you? Now, are we determining the personality type? Are we assessing their knowledge or expertise? Are we recommending products or services? I'm not sure. Choose for me. We are going with their personality type. Number of questions. You can go up to 15 questions, right? But we're gonna keep this simple and go to 5 questions. Any specific topics or audiences that you want the quiz to address. We can say how the couple met, We could say things like bright and colorful or dark and moody. You could say something like photographer in the mix on the dance floor or more documentary style. Things like that. So we're going to hit next. Now you got to put in your email address to connect it to your account. Here comes the fun. It is generating the quiz for us. I didn't have to come up with the questions. Wait till you see what the questions that it's going to give, and it automatically rates everything, gives you the end score. Everything is fully automated. This is a beautiful thing. It can take up to 5 minutes, as you can see. And it's done. So we're going to hit the button and view the quiz that it has created for us. It is loading the app. Which stunning wedding photography style is right for you? Discover your ideal wedding photography style and envision your big day through the perfect lens. Right away, you can see that you can drop in an image. You can search the web for it. It'll search Unsplash or Giphy. You can use it from a URL if you wanted to grab it from your site. You can upload it from your computer. Whatever it is, you can drop in an image, right? So I can say here, as I can call it, I'll just say wedding. It's going to pull from Unsplash for this example. Crop and save. And now this quiz has a cover photo. You can go in and you can change the font styles if you want to do that. It uses Google Fonts. You can actually change to different font providers if you want. So if you do need to match your website, you can probably do that fairly well. Now, we move into the questions. When you think about your wedding photos, what mood do you envision? Now, you could show a question image if you want. So if you, again, want to show your own work, you can do that right here. You could use images as the answers. Again, if you offer multiple styles of wedding photography, you can do that right here and visualize it for your potential leads. For now, I'm going to leave it as just text, but you could do that. Okay. So you can add more answers, you can remove answers, you can change the settings, allow them to choose multiple, you can edit the correlations for everything. You got complete control over everything, but remember, the AI started this for you. Brilliant. All right. So next, what is your favorite part of a wedding celebration? The heartfelt vows exchanged, the vibrant decor and attire. Again, show the question image if you want. Again, use images. You've got these photos. If you're a wedding photographer, you have these photos in your portfolio. Add those. Let your leads visualize this. But for now, I'm leaving it as text. All right. Next question. Choose a moment you'd love to have captured at your wedding. Again, use images. Let them visualize. But for now, text. But I love that they're offering you all of these answers in the quiz. Remember, I didn't write any of this. What do you want your wedding photos to convey to those who weren't there? Maybe a little bit harder to do this as images, so maybe you just want text. But if you have images that work for this, go for it. And how do you imagine interacting with your photographer on the wedding day? This would be more ideal for text, but there you go. Like, I want them to blend in and capture moments naturally. That's me right there. I would blend in and capture moments naturally. I'm not a poser. I'm not even a prompter for that matter at things like this. I'm very much stand back and just document. So I want them to be part of the action, especially on the dance floor. I know many photographers like that. Okay, so you can go on and on. You could do branching logic as well if you want to get really, really intense. I'm not going to do that. I don't even want to demonstrate how that part works because that is like a more intense part of the quizzes. But again, you can get pretty granular with all the details of the quiz. Now, the results. It is called a vibrant storyteller. You can change all of these. You can change them. Give yourself an image to go with it. Give the call to action. Call me today. Book your consultation. Bring it to your scheduler, Calendly, Zcal, Sprout Studio, whatever you're using to schedule. Link to your scheduler right there. You can hide the call to action if they're not a good fit for you. You could say, if you're not a good fit for this photographer, you could say, I'm not a great fit for you, but I'd love to refer you to XYZ and refer your friend who is the ideal candidate for that client. Moody romantic. dance floor diva, documentary dreamer. Again, you can rename all this, but there's a lot of really cool examples that you can get right there. Okay, now, again, show images, customize everything. Everything is customizable. Fonts, colors, everything can be customized. So now you've got the quiz generated, right? And you can always preview this at any time. You can take the quiz, go through each part. Again, if you were showing images, it would look different, but you can visualize everything right in here. You got the editor, you got the preview, everything's customizable, as I said. Now let's talk about lead generation. We're going to turn this on. So what would you want captured for the leads, right? First name, last name, phone number, email address is required, no matter what. So you want to capture all this because if it's going to your CRM, if it's going to Lead Savage, if it's going to Sprout Studio, if it's going to Studio Ninja, whatever it is that you're connecting to, you're going to want Honeybook, Flowdesk. You're going to want all the information so that you can then handle whatever else comes. Now, if you're using, for example, Lead Savage, that survey, or the quiz rather, can send the phone number to Lead Savage, and then you can have Lead Savage do all of its automation with text messaging as well if you want. There's so much potential with this, my friends, so please consider it. If you are not in the United States and you are in Europe and you require GDPR, you can turn that on. If you need to display a privacy link from your website, you can do that. All of this stuff is all available right here to do. There's advanced settings. You can control, what everything says. You can add new fields if you need custom fields for something. You could do that. Instagram handle, anything like that. You could do all of that in here too. Let's say I got this all set up where I need. I hit save and continue. And now look at all these connections. So direct integration, Flowdesk. That's what I'll be clicking in a moment. But if you're using Sprout Studio, if you're using Lead Savage, there's probably other photography CRMs and systems like that also are connecting to Zapier. So you can hit Zapier and then you can connect to Zapier. If you're using MailChimp, you can do that. Mad Mimi. I know there's all sorts of photographers are using all sorts of things, HubSpot, for example. But for me, I'm just connecting, for this example, to Flowdesk, okay? Again, take a quick moment to say, if you want to check out Interact, click on the link in the description down below for Interact. If you want to check out Flowdesk as well, there's a link as well for Flowdesk too. To check that out. Flowdesk is email marketing. Interact is the quizzes that you're looking at right now. Now you can get very granular with your connection to Flowdesk. I've not tried connecting through Zapier to anything else. I do have Sprout Studio. I might play around with it to connect to Sprout Studio as well. And if I do that, I will make another video. But wait to see how granular you can get with this. It's pretty cool. Now, if they are a visual storyteller, I want them to add to a specific segment. So let's say I create a segment on Flowdesk. I don't have it right now, but I can create a segment called Visual Storyteller, and then I can add them to that segment. Or I can add them to a quiz. Let's say I make one general quiz segment. I can add them to the quiz segment and add a custom field for the name of their answer. So they are added to quizzes, but they are a vibrant storyteller in the custom field, which means on the Flowdesk side, I can now email anybody with a custom field of visual storyteller. That's pretty cool, right? Or I could set up a whole workflow in Flowdesk. You filled out my quiz. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped you to identify what you're looking for in a wedding photographer. You actually got the result of a vibrant storyteller. There you go, right? So you can save that. You can set that up. And you can do that for each and every single one. So you would set it up and choose your segments. For the sake of this, I'm just going to save and continue, skip it. Here is where you can do it if you want per answer. So I can do a question. I can add a custom field for each and every answer that they give if I wanted to. So if I had a custom field here for them to use, I could fill that out and say that for this question, they answered a burst of color that reflects, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that's how granular you can get. I can literally give a custom field for each and every thing that is touched by this lead in the quiz. All right. We're going to hit save and continue and skip that for now. Double opt-in. This really depends on you, right? I personally don't like double opt-ins because it's one more roadblock for somebody to give me, to get that lead, to give me their email address or the phone number to get that lead. So I usually leave this off. If GDPR is on, you really don't need the the double opt-in. It really depends on you, your laws, or anything like that, what you should do. Now, here's where you'll do your field mapping. So if you need to, you can map all the fields. Phone number, I don't have phone number in Flowdesk, but this is where you could set all that up and connect. It automatically identifies email, last name, and first name because they're already in Flowdesk for me. Then you can test. You can test your integration with a pretend lead, and you're good to go. Now, there's some additional optional settings like social sharing. You can allow people to share it on social. If you're doing this for wedding photography, you probably don't need LinkedIn. You probably don't need Twitter. Facebook is good enough. There is no Instagram. Maybe down the road they'll have Instagram or TikTok or anything like that, and they'll automate some cool reels or something. Who knows? And then where do you want the social sharing buttons? The default is below result description. You can adjust that. You can have it shown on the left or right side throughout the whole quiz if you want. Where do you want them to go when it's shared? So if you put in one, it is going to link when it's shared to whatever that page is. If you don't, it'll link to the interact URL, which is also perfectly fine. It depends. If you're embedding it on your website, then linking them to your website is the ideal solution because now you're getting that traffic to your website. So consider that. And like everything else, you can either create your own image, you can search for an image, but add an image. So that way when it's shared, people are seeing a specific image you want them to see for that quiz. And then you can change some of the text for the shared thing as well. Okay. And then there's conversion tracking. Add your Facebook pixel if you want. Add your GA4 if you want. All right. Again, you can preview and see what it's going to look like. Here's that URL. You'll get back to this as well. No problem. But I'm not going to publish it. So you can see it's not published. You can add a tag if you want. You can see I have 2 photography quizzes as tags. I have 1 podcast quiz as a tag. And just to show you what that looks like, if I am to preview this quiz, you can see that I have, are you ready to save time and enhance your photography business? I can take the quiz and go through it. So many different questions that I've asked here. I can share the URL. And I can see if I go to analytics, how many times this quiz has been viewed. And again, you can filter by days and the dates. I can see how many times it's been started, completed. As you can see, I just made this. I haven't really shared it yet, but you get an idea for everything. How many times it's been shared. That button's been clicked to Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn if you have that turned on. And any leads that it's collected and the top results. So you get your results from all the data. You can dig in deeper to results and to leads and to questions and answers. And so much you can learn from these quizzes. This is Interact. If quizzes are overwhelming for you, if you ever thought about doing a quiz and quizzes are overwhelming for you, Interact is the way to make a quiz without it feeling overwhelming. It doesn't get any simpler than this. So I encourage you, my friends, if you are thinking about doing a quiz for your photography business, one way or another, try Interact. Click the link in the description. Try Interact. I guarantee you will never find a quiz solution that is simpler than Interact. So click that link in the description down below. And don't forget to click subscribe on this YouTube video and like it, all that stuff, because there's more coming.